Final Score Friday. Sponsored by Richmond Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics and Loyalty Automotive.
Welcome everybody back watching us on the live stream for the fifth quarter, where Sean and I are going to break down some of the biggest games that we saw this week. Our game of the week. We had a long losing streak end last week.
Yes.
And we had another one that had a chance this week. Midlothian and LC Bird, two Old Dominion District opponents. Bird had won 33 straight games over Midlothian heading into last night. Midlothian had not scored on the Skyhawks in 8 years. They took care of that right off the bat. Chase Chambers, 72-yard touchdown pass to Connor Harrington, going right through the defense. LC Bird came back. This is one of the most physical games that we've seen all year. Javion Williams had a 6-yard touchdown run. Ashby Berry is going to be a very sore young man in the morning. He carried 33 times tonight for 145 yards and this touchdown that ended up being the game winner. Midlothian wins 15-7, but they needed a last-second stop inside the 5-yard line to seal this victory. And if you don't think this meant something to the kids and the team and the coaches, take a look at the reaction when they realized the game was over. 1986 was the last time that Midlothian had beaten LC Bird. Obviously, none of those kids were around to see
Reagan was president. The Cosby Show was #1.
Tears for Fears.
Tears for Fears.
Yeah, exactly.
Let Us Rule the World.
Exactly, all that stuff.
And I joked with you when I was watching this highlight. Hutchings wasn't this emotional when they beat Manchester last year. And that was a 20-game losing streak that they had snapped against the Lancers.
This one meant quite a bit. Now, I will say that the folks on the sideline stopped counting penalties at like around 30 or 40. This was not a clean game by any stretch of the imagination. It was very physical. There was a lot of mistakes, a lot to clean up.
Yes.
I know he told you earlier this week that they had some stuff to clean up. Obviously, it's easier to do that when you win, especially when you get a win like that, which ends a very long losing streak. So congratulations to Matt Hutchings and the Trojans.
And I asked him this week, could he lean on the experience from last year when they did beat Manchester, but then they followed it up with 2 losses after that? And he said it's a different team. That was last year's team. This is a brand new team. But I think they will pull from that experience, having that emotional win last year against Manchester and then following up. We'll see how they do after that win against LC Bird.
Their defense had a fantastic game tonight, and their special teams. The kicking game, and there were a lot of punts in this game, but Midlothian was able to flip the field and gain better field position and advantage through their punting game. So it was an all-around team victory. A lot of stuff to clean up, but they are now 3-0.
He thought this was going to be like a boxing
it was.
And it
was
looked
just as ugly, yes.
But another game we got to talk about was Holland Springs, the #1 team in our coaches poll, again going out of state to playing one of the top teams in West Virginia, and that's Martinsburg, a team that had won 9 state championships in their region over the years. They played each other last year at Holland Springs. Martinsburg won by only a point, but this was a totally different story behind the play of Springer's quarterback, Christian Martin. He has grown up in front of our eyes over the course of an offseason. He accounted for over 400 yards of offense. He threw for 300. He ran for another 100 plus and accounted for 4 touchdowns in this win. The long road winning streak in true road games continues for Holland Springs. They look dominant against one of the best teams in West Virginia.
I think that they look better than they did last year. And not just because their win-loss record is a little bit better or because they're avenging 2 of the losses that they had at this point last year, but he just looks like he has a team. What's the best thing about sophomores? They become juniors. What's the best thing about all these kids? They get 1 year older. He didn't lose. They lose kids to college programs every year, but he's got a lot of his skill kids back, a lot of his linemen back. He's got a lot of kids back last year that went through some of those growing pains. I think they're a better team this year than they were last year.
And I think it starts with Martin, the quarterback. They mentioned during the offseason he is much more mature. He has a better knowledge of the offense, and they've opened up the playbook more. They've given him a lot of freedom to call plays or change protection at the line of scrimmage that we didn't see a lot last year. And the results, they've won 3 games. They're 4-0. 3 have been on the road. They went to Charlotte to beat Chambers. They won at Manchester, and they went to West Virginia and beat Martinsville. This is a really dangerous Holland Springs team. And that's saying a lot from a team that's won 4 state titles in a 7-year period, 4 in a row at that time.
And we're always looking down the road to the last week of the regular season when they play Verina. Both those teams are going to go to the playoffs, but that's one for the backyard East End bragging rights every year as well. Another team that is also undefeated, Douglas Freeman. They were going for their 6th win in the last 7 games against Atlee. A couple of big rushing attacks in this game. Miguel Martin for the Mavericks had 2 touchdowns rushing last night. J.J. Lewis, who has been Atlee's bread and butter out of the backfield, he had a touchdown as well. Douglas Freeman, they won 35-19 over Atlee last night. 2 kind of comparable programs. But Freeman has now won 7 of the last 8 in this series. They're now 4-0 for the 2nd straight year. They won a playoff game last year in Class 5 for the first time in a couple of years. The next step is to win a 2nd game and a 3rd game. And I think they ran into Highland Springs last year, which was going to be a tough in the 2nd round.
Bird and lost.
Right. In the 2nd round, they ran into Highland Springs. And you always know the Springers are lurking somewhere anywhere. But George Bland thought at the beginning of the season they were deeper this year. He thought they might be a little bit faster this year. And so far, they've taken care of everything on their schedule.
That's going to be a sneaky team at Region 5C because we always talk about Highland Springs and what Hermitage did, making a regional final last year. A lot of people kind of put Douglas Freeman under the radar.
And they're pretty balanced.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they make a regional final, just how balanced they are on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And could see either a Highland Springs or Hermitage in the regional final this year.
It was a special night last night down at Thomasdale, wasn't it?
It was a special night. The 1972 Central District Championship team that went undefeated was honored at halftime during their game against Meadowbrook. My late father-in-law, Jack Westfall, he was an assistant coach on that team. Also, the squad donated over $14,000 to the athletic department at Thomasdale. And whatever works for Thomasdale, it paid off against Meadowbrook, coming off the heels of snapping a 34-game losing streak the week before against J.R. Tucker. Thomasdale continues to roll. They continue to look good offensively with so many starters coming back to include the quarterback, Ethan Mentor. 63 points put up offensively against Meadowbrook. This is coming off of a 45-point output against Hermitage the week before. Really, really good team in 6A. That's going to be a dangerous team once we see November and December.
What, Brandon Rose couldn't score 6 touchdowns again tonight?
He had 2.
He did have 2, okay.
From what I saw,
he's got 11 in the first 3 games?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The record I was told by Tariq Kirby is 43, maybe within range. They will take a playoff game or 2, possibly, but they're gonna be really, really good.
Not that we're putting all that on the young man's shoulders, but that's a really, really nice start to the season.
No question. And the defense, again, looking solid, well balanced, both sides of the ball. Tucker thought this offense was going to be really, really solid, probably one of the best he's seen at Thomasdale since he's been there. They're looking the part right now.
Now let me ask you this: your late father-in-law,
yes,
he wouldn't want anything to do with the celebration, but he would have been proud of that win tonight.
Oh, no question, no question about it. He's smiling right now with the hat on and everything like that. Yeah.
We had a chance to talk with head coach Sam Rogers and the Hanover Hawks before the season, and he said that whatever the outside predictions were or the projections for his team didn't matter inside his program. He wasn't going to worry about what people thought they should win, what they shouldn't win. They were just going to go out and play each game on their schedule 1 week at a time. Hanover has been one of the surprises around here this year. 2-0 coming in to last night's game with Mills Godwin. This one probably a little more. They had beaten Prince George already this year. This one probably a little bit more balanced in terms of their opponent. And all they did, Bo Sinau and Cole Elrod just going back and forth, literally 2 touchdown passes one way, and then later in the game they threw back to each other in reverse. Daniel Venier for Mills Godwin is having a really good season as well. But for Hanover to go on the road, put up, not only win on the road, but put up 41 points on Mills Godwin, that sends a little bit of a statement. They just entered our coaches poll this past week at number 10, but Sam Rogers and the Hawks might have something. They're in Class 4. Class 4 is the hardest one
in this area.
The toughest region in the area now is Class 4. But by the end of the season, you may not want to face Hanover in the first round of the playoffs.
And they already got, I think, 2 wins in Region 4B. They went to Monacan and put up 55 against them, and they've already beaten Matoka, a revenge game from last year. So it's 2 wins in the region. That's huge
Right.
going into October. So that's a great start for Coach Rogers, building that culture back up that he was a part of with Coach Josh Just. 3-0, great start for Hanover.
For all of your Week 4 scores and highlights, just go to the scoreboard page on WTVR.com. We have all your scores. We got all your highlights. Thanks to the cheerleaders from Armstrong for joining us tonight. For Sean, I'm Lane. We will see you next Friday. It's already Week 5 of Final Score Friday. So long, everyone.